Rudy Giuliani, talk about a dumbass. He did all that bidding for Donald Trump. Trump wouldn't pay his legal bills. Now he's been held in contempt of court for a second time. Man, the federal judge, just ripped into him because he's been hiding assets. And then, of course, after he was held in contempt for a second time, this is what this little punk had to say.
Notice she's talking about criminal contempt because she's dying to put me in jail, like she put all the J6 people in jail. Woman's bloodthirsty.
That's an unconstitutional order.
What?
That's an unconstitutional order.
Oh, what does she care? How many did she do for the J6 people?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Telling other judges they weren't given strong enough sentences? That is a mockery of a judge who has an opinion prepared.
Say something.
You had to have prepared that decision yesterday or the day before, with all the citations in it.
Can you tell the room that we're out here and we are leaving soon? Can you tell the whole room?
I hope they noticed that it was an absolute deception when she said she just prepared it and smiled.
So should we just go? We good to go?
That sounds like contempt to me.
Okay. Can you tell them? So that helps. Can you just tell the room that we're out here? Just let them know.
I think it's utterly laughable that a former U.S. attorney who went after mobsters, who was the mayor of a city, is trying to say that a federal judge holding him in contempt of court for defaming two black women, hiding assets, somehow it's unconstitutional. Dude, shut the hell up. Matt, go ahead.
Well, you got in front of what I was going to say, which is crazy that he's a former U.S. attorney. What you often see in courts is you see when it's a police officer, being sentenced or dealing with some kind of like contempt, or if it's anybody who's got a position of the public trust, very often judges are angry that person is, in the crosshairs of the criminal justice system, and they're more harsh with the punishment they mete out to them. So, one, I'm really surprised that a former U.S. attorney would just brazenly, disrespect the judge in this way. And I think some of this is part and parcel with what we've talked about. Some of this just toxicity with ideological positions, especially on the conservative side, going so far and just saying anything, having no guardrails. But what's crazy about this is federal judges, pretty much have wide latitude to do whatever they want. So it's reckless to be outside talking about this judge crazy.
No. Hold on, Matt, not even outside. This is the Associated Press story. Giuliani smiled and chuckled as the judge explained why she was holding him in contempt. She said it was outrageous and shameful for Giuliani to suggest that he is the one who has been treated unfairly in this case. I'm sorry. Send his punk ass straight to jail. He is laughing in the face of a federal judge. This is where these judges have, if Matt Manning, Nola Haynes, Michael Imhotep, or Roland Martin stood in court and laughed at a federal judge in a contempt case, all four of our black asses will be behind jail right now, sitting there thinking about what the hell was I doing, talking smack in court.
Look, let me tell you, anytime the federal court sends me a hearing or a setting for a show cause hearing, meaning myself or my client needs to explain to the court why something has happened, I have a small heart attack, right? Because it's a federal judge. They can do whatever they want. They've got wide latitude. I think maybe in this case, part of what she's doing is not being overly heavy-handed so as to not look like some part of it is political. I'm not sure who appointed her, but what I don't—
Obama did.
Okay, Obama.
She's Obama appointment.
There may be some part of that playing into this, but what I really don't understand is in a situation where the litigant here, Giuliani, is so brazenly flouting, disrespect of the court. I don't see how the court doesn't just automatically jump to a graduated sanction like putting him in jail. Sometimes they start with money, sometimes they do other things, but he's continuing to engage in the conduct that is at issue in this case. He's continuing to claim that these women helped steal an election. And I don't understand why the judge has not just thrown him in jail at this point. And he's clearly asking for that, standing in front of the courthouse, maligning the judge the same way he was inside the courthouse. It's baffling to me, but, I think it's going to end up with him sitting in a jail cell.
Well, I just think at some point, Nola, if these people want to F around and find out, guess what? You F around, you're about to find out. And I'm sick of the special treatment. I'm sick of the and here's the deal. Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, there is no bottom. So that's where you stop playing nice, you stop giving the benefit of the doubt, and that's when you say, that's cool, Rudy. I'm sending your punk ass to jail. And if y'all want to holler and scream, I'm unfair, he ripped the judge saying, oh, she's a bias, that's when you say, guess what? Sit your ass in that jail. And if you keep talking, I'm going to add a week. And you keep talking, I'm going to add a week. You smirk, that's another week. That's the only way, because you know what? That's what happened to any regular person.
Absolutely, 5,000%. But wait a minute, when did Rudy Giuliani turn into the penguin? Like, what's going on there? Like, I was like confused. Like, wait, look at that. When did he turn into the penguin? Anyway,
that's what he been. He been a penguin.
I guess so. Like, I guess I haven't looked at him in a while. But
listen, you turn into the penguin when you start representing an evil ass fool like Donald Trump.
And evil is contagious, and it is not a good look, honey, because that ain't cute. But to your point, I'm going to go back to the destruction of institutions, right? You have Rudy Giuliani being flippant. So much of the ickiness reminds me of Roy Cohn. And I know he is somewhere rolling around in pig's dirt being happy as hell because his legacy has persisted, and I'm just watching him and I just see the ickiness and I see the arrogance and it infuriates me, because you're right. None of us could behave like that. And if the courts do not get it together, they are going to be responsible for their own for destruction is a harsh word, but they're going to be responsible for their own kind of destruction of their reputation, right? I can tell you, I used to teach politics, policy, and law. And my students would always ask, how could the United States Supreme Court, how can you be unbiased when the starting point is you're either liberal or conservative? And so, that already kind of muddles the waters. And here we are in the lower courts where we are seeing the same sorts of things. And they have got to get it together, Roland, because this is a mess. And to your point, so what if he says she's biased? So what if he says she's an Obama appointee? And
right.
You whole judge.
Yep.
So what?
Michael, real quick.
I'm tired of it.
Michael, real quick.
So Rudy is continuing to spread lies about these sisters, Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss. I think this civil lawsuit is the way to break these insurrectionists, these people who plotted to overthrow the government. Rudy Giuliani was involved in January 6th. You may not be able to put them in prison, but you can financially break them, okay, and hold them accountable in civil court. And they should get it's a $148 million judgment. They should get everything they can. Just leave him standing out there in his underwear outside of his house like the IRS did Red Fox.
Hi. I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you help build Fanbase. And we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.